Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Phantasy Star 2. After the last episode, the first in a fair while in the series, I came out of it not absolutely despising the game, and so I realised, you know what, let's just get straight into it. Let's get working on the next part of the game. We are now in the second third of the game. The first third ended with a climate control tower that saw Nay die permanently at the hands of Nay first. All of the biomonsters on Motavia were killed, and they have been replaced by the security forces from the leader of this solar system on the planet of Palm, which I believe is the first planet of the system. It's, from what I can gather, where you spend a lot of your time in the first Phantasy Star game. Now, we were told that we need to go and enter each of the 4 dams surrounding the central lake around the capital city of Paseo to release the water and stop the planet from flooding. But before we can do that, we need to head to the control tower to get the key cards to actually get into the buildings. And that's pretty easy. All we need to do is go to this teleport station and use our bountiful amount of Mesera to teleport to the control tower, which is in the town of Piara. I believe it's in the uppermost corner. Yeah, northwest corner of the map. So we go around the town. Oh wait, no, we start in the northwest corner, don't we? Right, okay, if we go up here, keep going. The problem with a lot of these kind of areas where you need to go to the northwest area of a town is that they're not the most, they're not the best at explaining where exactly the place is. It seems like it's just kind of that direction somewhere, but that direction is kind of very vague. So if we head this way, back up here, there's this plus sign here. See a bridge that leads over tower area, kind of shaped like a plus, but there's nothing there. Walk south along the edge of town here, and then when we're about flush with the hospital, head due west. And here it is. This is where we need to go. Talk to one of the Motavians. Hey, have you met any Dezo people? We don't understand what they are saying. They are also liars, have warped minds, and are really nasty. Kind of racist, dude. No need for that. But point is, let's just talk to this one other guy while we're here. Okay, I don't want to go talk to him. If he's edging off on the arena, I don't want to talk to him if he ends up leaving the area. Right, this is the control tower. You can maybe see just a little bit along the edge of the dungeon that this is the most complicated, simultaneously, the most complicated and the simplest dungeon that we have yet covered in this game. It's kind of ridiculous. There are no less than 69 teleporters in this dungeon. Very nice. So if you don't follow the path, it's very confusing. But at the same time, if you do follow the path, it's pretty straightforward. Let me just check. Okay, everyone is at the correct level. Just haven't used Kane for a while. Let me explain where we're going. We're going this way, down this corridor, up here. You also don't need to bother about worrying about any sort of extra items or whatever. There are none on this stage. Everything's pretty simple. And here we are seeing the first set of non-biomutant enemies. These are the security forces. They're all, from this point on, robots of various kinds. Starting with the Metal Man, or Metal Men, I suppose, if we're looking at them in plural form. I don't believe that they should be particularly horrifically dangerous. After all, we are very much just starting this, although they are doing a ton of damage to everyone, so perhaps we might be doing a lot of healing along here. Let me check their states. Ooh, great. Unfortunately, we're at a position where we can't really heal people any further than we already have, so this could be a case of we're spending a lot of our resources on just healing people. Just one healing of Rudo, Rolf, and Anna, I reckon. One problem with Nate disappearing is that we don't really have anyone that we can just use as a sort of healing character. Of course, we still have Amy in the back pocket, but she's not the best character, frankly. I suppose we can get Kane to use some of his techniques. Let's try the Rimet. It's been a while since we've used him, so I can't remember what each of his abilities do. The names don't really give you the best guess at what they do. Looks like maybe we just got unlucky last time with the Metal Man constantly using their multi-character attacks, because it doesn't look like they actually do all that much damage. But it doesn't look like the Rimet does a huge amount either. Yeah, they're only doing 10 HP per individual attack, so it just looked like we were getting unlucky last time with their fact they were attacking everyone. Kane is pretty weak. He doesn't do a huge amount of damage, even despite being at Anna's level. His main thing is that he's just got the techniques that we can use elsewhere. Right, oh great. Heal everyone again. I think it is technically more efficient for us to use the res on individual characters than it is to use the gear res to heal lots of people at once. There we are. Right, we're going along here. We need to count the teleporters we're passing here, because we need to make sure we're going down the right one. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so we're going down the 6th one. 4, 5, 6. Is this correct? I believe it is. Let's go down this one. That should teleport us into a corridor. We should need to, dodge, teleporter there. And then there should be another okay, we're on the right path. Open area. Not quite. Oh dear. They're attacking first, which means, of course, they're going to do a ton of damage to us. Wonderful. Thanks, guys. Right, order Kane. If you do have a multi... If we try Gaz, whatever that means. Again, we're just really having to guess what these do, because they don't do a particularly good job at explaining. And what's worrying is they're doing a ton of damage and none of our characters are attacking. What are you guys doing? Come on. They're wiping the floor with you guys. You need to get your actions in order. Oh dear. Come on. Please, just get them over and done with. Get the fight. Is Rudo just not attacking? He's just very slow, okay. And the gadget's terrible. Might as well not bother using it. Come on. Ooh. Yeah, okay, things have gotten a tad bit more difficult. I would like to use a guy res. Honestly, we're probably best off using 2 guy reses. Or gear reses? Who knows what the term is. And then again on Anna as well. And one... Actually, let's just use a Dimate. I think we should still have a couple left over. Yeah, just use that for Rudo. There we are. Right, okay. Along the corridor, number 2. It's a good thing that we don't have to bother with the extra loot. Just down here to this one. And then just kinda along the road. Like this. Down here. It's skip that teleporter, and it's this one we want to go through. Right, 7, 8. We are going right. Then up here, teleport number 9. Don't walk into the pit, of course, because then you're going to have to do all of that again. But you need to come in here. Deal with one final group of enemies. Phantasy and Mekoman. They look pretty scary, but hopefully if we just attack first, we can just do the damage quickly enough. To get them out of the way, good. Looks like Mekoman is fairly tanky. Oh, no. Who knows? Right, if you remember a fair few episodes ago now, we unlocked an ability technique for Rolf called Music, and this is where it comes in. We need to use it on this piano. Strange. Give me a second. Right. I'm going to go use the visiphone just a second, just to save here, because if you touch the piano, it'll teleport you back down to the bottom of the dungeon, and I don't want to bother doing that, so I'm just going to save here now in case I do touch it, so I can just reset. And we're really edging very close to it, a lot closer than I would have assumed. We need to touch it, and finally Rolf plays the music. The piano will play a little ditty like that. Then we exit this room, skirt along the wall, dealing with the last group of informers. I don't think we need to bother healing up. I think we're tanky enough. We should be fine. Especially because the informers really don't deal that much damage at all. It's mostly their defense reducing ability that's kind of annoying. But they should be taken out pretty quickly. A strange selection of robots. You got some very kind of threatening looking mechs, and then you got these things that kind of look like they'd appear in Wall-E or something. Not very scary at all. There we are, we go around, and this should have opened up a door up here. And once we go through, we have a set of consoles, and of course we can't just pick up the items. Of course there's still got to be a bunch of enemies in there. We better not wipe the floor with us at the last moment. Come on guys, just deal with them quickly. Oh, just go through. They're not going to wipe the floor with our entire party. It's just I would rather Kane not die, because I would like him to get the experience if the Metal Man starts playing up. I think we might have just gotten unlucky, because it looks like there's a lot of fairly basic enemies in here, and the Mailman's just one of the more damaging ones. Right, come on. I need to interact with these. Green card. And apparently this is the way that you stop enemies from turning up, if you just spam the interact button as you're walking around. Like this. It doesn't give them the opportunity to spawn in, apparently, so do that. Red card. There we are, we've gone all the items. Has it gone into multiple inventories just because of how full everyone's inventories are? Well, whatever. We're basically sticking with this party from now on anyway, so it doesn't necessarily matter that we're moving items between inventories. It's just a case of it shows us that we need to get to selling some of our items. Right, and then it's Rika, no, Hinas. Again, it's been a while since I've had to warp out of a dungeon, so Hinas to leave the dungeon, go out, go to the hospital, back in Piada, Bit of a trek, but, you know, is what it is. So we go to the hospital, we heal up, we sell a couple of items, and then I'll show you the way that we get to the red dam, which is what I recommend you go and start with. You can do the dams in any order, but the game is designed to kind of lead you into doing them in a particular order, and the first one that you're recommended to do is the red dam. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Okie dokie, there are several ways to get to pretty much all of the dams at this point, but the easiest way to get to Roron is to teleport to Zima. Sorry, to get to the red dam, the easiest way is to teleport to Zima, go through here, you're going to go grab your sip from the lower peninsula, and it should be not that far away. So, if you remember from a few episodes back, we had to go to the Roron Junkyard to pick up the red scooter to get to Uzo Island, and so on and so forth, and yada 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 yada. Various steps along the way. All the rest of that. You know what I should have done? I should have brought some more dimates. Rolf has a lot of extra abilities, that means I'm not quite as willing to just waste TP on healing as I was with Nay, because Nay was pretty much just had the TP to heal. She had a bunch of other abilities, but you just would never use them. Rolf actually does have some decent ones, so I don't necessarily want to use all of them on healing. Right, jet scooter. This should be a large dam, which I think might be this one. We'll see in a moment. Deal with these whistles, who seem to be very similar to the informers, but luckily, like the informers, do very little damage at all. My guide recommends you get Kane up to level 15 before we get into the next dungeon, so the fact he isn't there yet, might as well deal with some random encounters just to get him those last couple of experience points. Though I doubt it'll be quite enough to level him up. Oh no, Anna levels up, of course, but not the guy we really need. I believe the red dam's up here now. There we are, red dam. Alright, pretty simple. This is another simple one, but unlike last time, there is actually some loot. So you do want to bother going in looting stuff. And good loot as well. It's not like the ones in Climate Troll where you're just selling them all. I believe Anna's the one who's ended up with the red card, so we use that. Now we're facing the door. Opens the thing up. And it's a set of not particularly complicated rooms, separated by teleporters. There are only 3 floors, and you're kind of moving between floors to get to places. Right, we're now in the basement. We head down this way. Going around here. Once again, we're fighting enemies, but they're still the kind of basic low-level enemies. Security forces. They still haven't got hugely overpowered. Maybe we'll need to heal up every now and then, but as long as we don't fight that many mecha men, we should be fine, because it seems like the rest of these guys are comparatively not crazy powerful. So I'm happy with just every so often getting into a fight, as long as it's not constant mecha men, especially where they're character attack. Right, you would head left to continue forward, but we're going to head down here into this teleporter to grab this chest with the fire slasher, which we are going to equip. I think we need to, if I remember the way the inventories work, we actually need to go into Rolf's inventory, give to Anna, because he's the only character who can use the slashers, and that's how we then equip it for her. And this should be an upgrade to what we've currently got, our laser slashers. Let's check the attack and the defense and all the rest of it. Oh, not a huge improvement, but, you know, 6 extra attack. Not terrible. Could certainly be a lot worse. And as we continue along, I should actually just quickly check how much health has she got. Now we'll heal her up just the once. While we're here, she could do with it just a little bit. Right. Down here, and we're going to this teleporter in the southwest corner. Then we're going to head this way, up this corridor, along here, and there should be a teleporter. Typical. We see the teleporter but can't actually reach it. Sonomech, I reckon this might be an upgrade to the tankier one we saw in the last area. I would say that hopefully this is the point that maybe you start seeing status effects and stuff start coming into play, but I think I'm maybe being a bit too generous to the game. Ooh. I wasn't doing that last time. I wasn't doing any of that crazy like stand-up firing missile swathes out of its legs. That's a bit of a buff. Okay, maybe they're not quite as useless as I thought they were. Okay, but regardless, I think we're still just carrying along to this teleporter. And then from there, along here. What's our states? Oh, bro. I'll go heal up a second, I'll cut once we're healing up. Healing shouldn't be such a tedious and lengthy process in a RPG that I feel like I need to go and cut the game every time I need to heal an entire party. You know? Maybe that's just me, but that's just how I feel. Right, pit along here, we're going to ignore it. Just going to go around. Typical. Polisiacs. I don't know whether that's the plural term or whether that's like Polisiaxes, but whatever the case is, their basic version that we saw last time wasn't hugely powerful, or at least wasn't super strong, so I'm not terrified fighting these guys. Oh, they are pretty strong. That was about 20 damage to Rudo, I think. Whatever the case is what it is. I'll be honest, status effects aren't hugely detrimental, at least at this stage of the game. I'm not hugely worried when we get hit with a status effect. I imagine later on they get a bit more dangerous. And of course, with the entire game, there's always that constant worry that maybe you don't get to attack first, and then all of a sudden, you know, enemies get a lot more dangerous in that situation where they're attacking before you can. But whatever the case is, we are just about strong enough that the Polisiacs go down and only manage to fire out a couple of attacks, so we're not super worried. I will just heal Rolf quickly. You can see how much tankier him and Rudo are in comparison to Anna and Kane. Of course, more pit, so you want to be careful around them. But then you do want to go down here to grab a chest with the fire staff. And in between this episode and the next episode, I'm going to give that to Amy in case we do ever use her, because that's a very nice upgrade for her. A fairly strong one. Round another pit. We've walked across the entire building now. Ooh, lots of Sonomechs. This could be dangerous if they're as strong as they looked. I suppose this is a situation where we try out another ability for Kane. I think the Zan? Gra? I think Gra might hit multiple opponents. Again, this is the problem, like, there's a strange thing, especially with these, like, late 80s, or series of JRPGs that began in the late 80s, where they're just like, here are all of your abilities. We're not going to even try and pretend to give you any hint at what they do. Not only is there no way in-game that you can look up what they do, but also they have ridiculous names that don't correlate to anything at all. To be fair, at least with like even Shin Megami Tensei, I think that the argument there is there's like some sort of alchemical link or something ridiculous like that. But with Phantasy Star, it's just like, guess, man. There we are. Finally, Kane's at the level he was supposed to be walking into this dungeon. Right, teleport to number 7. From the looks of it, we're just kind of walking down straight to teleport number 8. Teleport number 8, we should go left, but we're going to go up first because we're going to grab a nice upgrade for Rolf in this chest. The Sword of Ang, which is apparently sword for the Sword of Anger. This is apparently a pretty strong upgrade for him, so let's pick it up. Sword of Ang, let's again keep an eye on the attack. Ooh, that was strong. And a boost to our defense as well. Don't mind if I do. From here on, though, we've gotten all the loot, so we're just carrying on in the way that gets us to the end of the dungeon now. Oh, great, of course they get to attack first. Okay, this... Oh, and they're attacking first again. This could be dangerous. Ooh, 85 damage. I like that. I like that a lot. Up until now, Rudo was the only one doing that sort of damage. 101 damage. I could cry. That's a nice upgrade. I'm more generous than I thought it would be. Another quick cut while I go and heal the entire party. I'll be back in like an hour's time. Okay, there we are. Everyone's kinda back up to a decent level of health. Big upgrade on Rolf. I like it a lot to make things a lot faster, if nothing else. Okay, 78 is not as great as last time. Looks like maybe the enemies we're facing just then just had particularly low defense, perhaps. Whatever the case is, still a tidy damage upgrade for him. Wire face? Strangely, like, how is that supposed to move? It's a security force that's just been deployed to the planet, which implies that it's mobile. It's like, is that walking around on the tentacles? That's a horrifying thought. Whatever the case is, I don't want it near me. That wire face, so it's a good thing that it's gone. Alright, we loop back around to this teleporter number 9. That should get us close to the end, and then it's a short walk to teleporter number 10, which is just down here. Teleporter number 10 takes us somewhere, give me a sec. Ah, not far, just down this corridor and out. And then here is our goal. Do we interact with this? There's a place to put the card in. Right. In that case, item and a red card. Red card inside. The dam locks opens and rushing water is heard. And that is the end of the red dam. That, I believe, is it for this dungeon. Not too bad, but it is the simplest and easiest and fastest out of all of these dungeons, so, you know, they're only going to get increasingly lengthier and more complicated and all the rest of it, so I'm not super excited about that. But I will say that for now, that's where I'm going to leave things off. Next episode, I believe, we'll take on the next 2 dungeons, which will be the yellow dam and the blue dam. And then past that, we'll leave the green dam and what comes after that for the next episode beyond that. Hopefully, they shouldn't take too long, but they are increasingly long. I haven't checked at the maps yet, but from the sounds of it, they do get quite significantly larger. It's not just a little change. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that'll be for the next episode. For now, I'd like to say thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Tune in next time, but for now, adios, and ciao.